Here comes Olaf Koy, the other card to play for Visma Lease, looking for, fighting for room alongside Moschetti. It's a dirty sprint. Koy sits up, Caden Groves hits the front. Groves is going to take the win. Chaos at the line, but the Aussie got it right when it mattered.
The first uphill finish of the 108th Giro d'Italia, 168 kilometres, starting out at Castel di Sangro and finishing uphill, a 12-kilometre climb to Tagliacozzo, all within the region of Abruzzo. A first test for the big GC players, hoping to wear the Maglia Rosa in Rome. Primož Roglic potentially poised to take the Maglia Rosa, but UAE Team Emirates full of ambition, and Mads Pedersen probably expecting to sign off in the Maglia Rosa after a long and successful spell in the race lead. The flag dropped and the early attacks went, but it took a while before the break of the day established itself. Everybody knowing that there were King of the Mountains points available and a chance that the breakaway might make it to the line. Eventually, one after the other, the attacks went, and Lorenzo Fortunato prized himself clear to take the maximum 9 points at the first categorised climb of the day, the Cat 3 Roccaraso climb. After that, though, the attacks continued. Jay Vine, riding high in the general classification from UAE Team Emirates, went off the front and he prized a group clear, and that forced Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe and Nico Dents to ride this latest breakaway down. After that, there was another counter-attack, and eventually a fighting force of 7 riders got clear. The last of them to join in the action was the British climber pool double from Jaco Alula, who joined in, and then there were 7 good climbers. The peloton decided at that point that that was the break of the day, and they were allowed to go clear and build up an advantage of a minute as they headed towards the first intermediate sprint of the day. In Sulmona, it was Alessandro Tonelli who took once again maximum points in the Intergiro competition. And then at the top of the second categorised climb of the day, the first Cat 2 climb, pool double of Jaco Alula picked up 18 points in the King of the Mountains competition. Straight after that then, they hit the 21.6 long kilometre drag up the Vado della Forcella, another Cat 2 climb, and once again it was Paul Double who picked up a further 18 points to move to 36 points in the King of the Mountains competition, and temporarily in second place. Alessandro Tonelli then duly won the final intermediate sprint of the day, but behind the peloton were now starting to motor. Even the Maglia Rosa and Dan Houle from Little Trek got in on the action, shutting down any hopes that the breakaway had. A crash then for the leader of Picnic Postenel, Romain Bardet, who was piloted back on to the bunch just by his teammate Chris Hamilton, but clearly fatigued by the effort just to get back into the peloton. And on a long, straight, flat approach to the Red Bull kilometre and the final climb of Tagliacozzo, the time gap started to come down. Not before Manuele Torazzo of VF Group Bardiani picked up the cash prize and the bonus seconds at the Red Bull kilometre, and onto the climb went the 7 riders from the original breakaway with only half a minute's advantage. Ineos Grenadiers riding on the front with Josh Tarling. They were the first team to take it up, Egan Bernal with 4 teammates in front. But then shortly after that, Bahrain Victorious moved to the front en masse with 4 riders, and they were the team who brought the breakaway back together. That was it for Romain Bardet, who was detached and signed off in the general classification. And on the steep final 3 kilometres, it was UAE Team Emirates and Rafa Majka who set up an attack, first from Isaac Del Toro and then emphatically from their team leader Juan Ayuso.
Bernal is screening things. I don't think he quite have the legs.
He's prized him clear. Juan Ayuso now has gone clear. Ayuso motoring clear of the field. Juan Ayuso of UAE Team Emirates bursts into life at the Giro d'Italia. An explosive acceleration. He's going to take the win, and he's going to win with a big gap. That is hugely impressive from Juan Ayuso. What a statement he's made here. He waited, he was patient, and when he delivered the blow, it was an absolute killer move from Juan Ayuso. A winner at the Giro d'Italia. The battle for second place is going to go the way of his teammate Isaac Del Toro. It's all UAE at the finish line. Bernal in a brilliant 3rd place.
Juan Ayuso, a big statement in the general classification in this year's Giro d'Italia. And a 1-2 for UAE Team Emirates with Isaac Del Toro in second. Fantastic performance from Juan Ayuso, from Del Toro in second, Egan Bernal in third, and Primoz Roglic only able to pick up fourth place. It was enough though to put him back into the race lead by 4 seconds ahead of Juan Ayuso, back in pink for the second time. Mads Pedersen now firmly in control of the Maglia Ciclamino as ever, but out of pink. Lorenzo Fortunato still in blue, but now with serious rivals, Juan Ayuso and Paul Double entering the fray. And Juan Ayuso now, of course, moving into the white jersey ahead of Isaac Del Toro, his teammate.